Some knowledge doesn't come to you. It jumps at you and refuses to stay silent. That's the kind of awareness you carry, chosen one. The type that makes people shift in their seats, squint suspiciously, and start asking, "Wait, how did you know that?" And the truth is, even you don't always know how you know. You just do. It hits you like a whisper that showed up uninvited but somehow arrived right on time. The moment you walk into a room, the atmosphere changes, not because you're trying to be dramatic, but because your intuition has already scanned the situation before you take your second step. Studies show that the human brain picks up microsignals before we consciously register them, but you're not dealing with microsignals. You're dealing with full spiritual downloads that land before logic even wakes up. And honestly, that's why people are scared. They're not frightened because you expose them with words. They're frightened because your awareness exposes the parts of them they never submitted for public viewing. It's almost unfair. You read tension the way some people read text messages. You catch intentions faster than they can fake their tone. You sense shifts in loyalty before their behavior even acts like it's ready to change. And while they're standing there rehearsing their next lie, you're already processing the truth behind their first sentence. Some folks try to play it cool around you, but their eyes start betraying them immediately. You know you've really rattled someone when they suddenly start over-explaining simple things, like why they were busy, why they forgot, or why they didn't mean it like that. At that point, you don't even need intuition. Their panic is doing all the talking. But here's the humorous part. They think you're decoding them like Sherlock Holmes, when really you're just standing there wondering why their energy feels louder than their actual voice. They think you have binoculars hidden somewhere. Meanwhile, you're just trying to mind your business and keep your spirit from screaming, "Something isn't adding up here." Chosen one, your presence alone is a revelation. And revelations make people uncomfortable, especially the ones who were hoping their intentions stayed disguised. So when they ask, "How did you know?" what they're really saying is, "How did you see the part of me I've been hiding from myself?" Get ready, because we're about to break down exactly why your insight shakes people to their core, and why you're unintentionally scaring the life out of them in the process. Number 1, your accuracy exposes what they tried to hide. There's a reason people tense up when you speak on something they thought they had perfectly concealed. Your accuracy doesn't come from guessing, assuming, or snooping. It comes from a place within you that picks up truth the way a magnet picks up metal, effortlessly and without permission. You say something simple, something honest, and suddenly their whole body flinches like you just pulled back a curtain they weren't ready for anyone to see behind. They ask, "How did you know?" But what they really mean is, "How did you find the part of me I've spent years covering up?" Your accuracy doesn't just reveal facts, it reveals motives. You don't just sense what someone did, you sense why they did it. And that's what shakes people the most. Anyone can catch an action, but it takes a different level of spiritual clarity to detect intention. You can feel when someone is acting from jealousy, insecurity, guilt, entitlement, or fear, long before their behavior even lines up with the emotion. And people hate that level of exposure. Not because you're judging them, but because they've gotten comfortable hiding behind carefully crafted masks. What scares people is that your insight bypasses their performance. You don't fall for the polite tone, the forced smile, or the innocent act. Your spirit scans deeper than the surface. You read the emotional fingerprints they leave behind without even trying. And when you speak on something, even casually, it touches the exact spot they hoped no one would ever access. It's like your words cut through the outer story and land right on the internal truth. Many people go through life presenting controlled versions of themselves. They adjust their personality depending on who's watching. They manipulate perception. They disguise their flaws. But around you, all that effort collapses. Not because they slipped, but because you're built to see what others miss. You expose what they tried to bury simply by being honest. And that honesty feels like a spotlight on the parts of them they aren't ready to confront. That's why your accuracy rattles them. It forces truth into a room where it was never invited. Number 2, you catch what they didn't even say out loud. You have a way of sensing things before they're even spoken, and that's what makes people uneasy around you. Most people communicate through words, gestures, or obvious reactions, but you operate on a different level. You pick up on the invisible signals, the unfinished sentences, the tension that hums beneath their calm exterior. While they're carefully crafting their story, you're already aware of the gaps, the contradictions, and the unsaid truths that they hoped would stay hidden. That's why people freeze when you speak. You've addressed something they didn't even realize they were broadcasting. It's not about paranoia or overthinking. It's about a refined sense of perception that reads beyond the obvious. You notice the subtle shifts in tone, the slight hesitation before a word, the flicker of guilt in someone's eyes, the way energy changes when someone lies or holds back. These tiny details are invisible to most, but you catch them instinctively, and when you respond, it's as if you've pulled the hidden truth out into the open. People don't know how to handle that level of awareness because they're used to controlling what others see. Around you, control slips through their fingers. They realize too late that you were never interacting with the version of them they wanted to show the world. You were seeing the real person all along. Your ability to catch what isn't said doesn't just expose dishonesty, it exposes intent. You sense the motives before the actions, the emotions before the excuses. This makes people defensive and sometimes even panicked because they understand on a subconscious level that you're not just observing, you're reading, decoding, and acknowledging layers of truth that they thought were safely hidden. It's unsettling for them because it breaks the illusion they rely on to navigate social interactions. You don't wait for them to reveal themselves. Their energy, their hesitation, and their inconsistencies do all the revealing for you. And when you acknowledge it with your words or actions, it hits them like a spotlight on a part of themselves they didn't want anyone else to see. That's the kind of awareness that scares people, and it's one of the reasons your presence is impossible to ignore. Number 3, your spirit recognizes patterns before your mind explains them. One of the things that truly unsettles people about you is this. You recognize situations long before there's any logical reason to. You sense patterns the same way someone recognizes a familiar song after hearing just the first 2 notes. You don't need a full story, a list of signs, or a dramatic event. Something in you simply knows when a situation is repeating itself, even before the physical evidence shows up. That's why your reactions surprise people. They think you're acting too fast, but you're simply responding to a pattern your spirit has already identified. You've lived through enough experiences, both painful and elevating, that your spirit has built a library of emotional and spiritual codes. When someone comes into your life with certain intentions or certain behaviors, your inner being picks it up instantly, even if your conscious mind hasn't fully processed it yet. You might feel a sudden shift, a discomfort, a clarity, or a sense that you've seen this exact scenario play out before. And because your spirit moves faster than your thoughts, you respond early. Most people don't understand how you knew something was off until it becomes undeniable later on. This is where the fear really kicks in for them. They're used to people catching on slowly. They're used to having time to manipulate narratives, test boundaries, or hide intentions. But with you, their windows of opportunity shrink. You catch patterns before they even fully form. You respond to the root before the behavior grows branches. And that kind of early awareness makes people feel exposed, predictable, and stripped of their advantage. What they don't realize is that your recognition doesn't come from suspicion. It comes from spiritual memory. Your soul carries lessons from every betrayal, every disappointment, every toxic cycle you escaped, every mistake you survived. You don't forget the energy signatures associated with certain characters or storylines. When a similar pattern shows up again, your spirit alerts you immediately. It's like a built-in warning system that helps you avoid situations you've outgrown. People may call it intuition, instinct, or discernment. But to you, it's simply second nature. And it scares them because it reveals that your perception works at a depth they can't manipulate or outrun. Number 4. Your discernment interrupts their manipulation. Mid-script. People get uncomfortable around you because they're used to dealing with individuals who fall for beginnings. Most manipulation relies on the first step working: the charm, the sympathy card, the victim routine, the friendly approach, the guilt switch. But your discernment cuts straight through all of that before they even get halfway through their plan. You interrupt their script without even realizing it. While they're preparing the next part of their act, you've already identified the intention behind it, and that throws them off balance completely. Manipulators depend on predictability. They depend on people responding the way they expect, reacting with confusion, or hesitating long enough for them to take control. But you don't give them that luxury. Your energy doesn't match the response they rehearsed in their minds. You don't take the bait. You don't play the role they assigned to you in their little strategy. Instead, you respond in a way that tells them, clearly and silently, that their plan is already dead in the water, and it terrifies them because they don't know what gave them away. The truth is, you've seen enough of these patterns to know when someone is approaching you with the wrong intentions. Their tone feels off, their timing feels engineered, their behavior comes with too much calculation and not enough sincerity. You notice the way they test the boundaries, the micro moments when they check your reactions, the slight shift in how they treat you depending on what they need. You pick up on all of it, even if you never say it out loud. And when they try to push further, your discernment stops them mid-move. What really shakes them is that you confront their manipulation without confrontation. You don't blow up, you don't accuse them. You simply stop giving them access. You switch up your energy. You withdraw your trust. You end the conversation quicker. You change the dynamic before they can take control. That's what confuses them the most. You break their hold without creating a scene. You dismantle their script with one intuitive move. And because they can't figure out how you caught on so early, they start viewing you as someone they can't fool, handle, or predict. That's the kind of presence that makes manipulators feel exposed and powerless in ways they never expected. Number 5. Your warnings. Hit them before the consequences do. People don't realize how deeply connected you are until life starts proving your words right. You warn someone, not out of ego or control, but because you genuinely sense the direction things are going. You can feel when something is about to backfire, when someone is about to expose themselves, or when a situation is heading toward chaos. And you say what you feel, not dramatically, not with force, just with quiet certainty. But that certainty unsettles people, because it comes before anything visible has even happened. Most people only respect truth after it becomes undeniable. But you speak it while it's still forming, while the signs are still subtle, while the consequences are still miles away. That's why people question you at first. They think you're exaggerating or being overly cautious. They might even think you're making things up. But when your warnings start matching the future with uncanny precision, that's when fear sets in. They realize you don't wait for disaster to show itself. You sense it long before it arrives. It's not that you want to be right. It's that you feel the spiritual shifts before the physical world reflects them. You pick up on the emotional weight someone is carrying. You notice the buildup of negative intentions. You recognize when someone is playing with something that's going to collapse on them. And when you speak on it, you unintentionally reveal a level of foresight they can't understand. What scares them the most is the timing. You don't warn people when the mess is obvious. You warn them when everything still looks normal. Your insight hits at the part of the story where most people are still celebrating, pretending, or denying. And when life eventually confirms what you said, people start looking at you differently. They start wondering how you could see what they couldn't, how you knew what they ignored, how you sensed what they were blind to. Your accuracy and timing makes them rethink every conversation they've had with you. Because if you saw this coming, what else have you picked up on? That question alone is enough to shake anyone who wasn't moving with clean intentions. Number 6, you see the character. They're trying to outrun. What rattles people the most about you is that you don't fall for the updated version of who they pretend to be. You see the real them, the parts they hoped time, reinvention, or a new crowd would erase. People love to act like they've outgrown their old behavior, but deep down, most of them are just hiding it under better lighting. And when you look at them, they feel exposed because your perception cuts through every performance and gets straight to the core. You see the part of them they hoped no one remembered or recognized. A person can change their hairstyle, their clothes, their circle, their tone, and even their storyline, but they can't change the spiritual fingerprints that sit behind their intentions. You notice the small tells, the inconsistency, the entitlement, the insecurity they try to bury under confidence, the jealousy masked as concern, the fake humility hiding their hunger for validation. You pick up on the original blueprint. It doesn't matter how much they polish themselves up. You can't be fooled by presentation. People who carry unresolved things fear someone who sees them too clearly. They fear the one person who isn't hypnotized by their growth speeches or new persona. You're not impressed by their performance because your spirit recognizes the echoes of who they used to be. You hear it in their tone. You see it in their reactions. You sense it in the places where their new self slips and the old self peeks out. And you respond accordingly, whether they're ready for that or not. This is why people get jumpy, defensive, or overly nice around you. They know you're not judging them, but they also know you aren't fooled. You can't unsee the truth, and that makes them nervous. The fear isn't that you'll expose them. The fear is that you already know. You remind them of the parts they've avoided healing, and they can feel it. When they ask, "How did you know?" it's because you hit a truth they thought they left behind years ago. What they don't understand is that you see character, not costumes. And character always speaks louder than the version they're trying so hard to become. Number 7, your silence forces their truth to echo louder. One of the most unsettling things about you is how your quiet can feel louder than anyone else's words. You don't have to speak to make people reveal themselves. They do it on their own, and that's exactly what scares them. You've learned to watch and observe, to hold back judgment, to let the energy of a room do the talking. And when you stay silent, it's like a mirror reflecting everything people are trying to hide. They start spilling pieces of themselves, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes because your presence simply makes it impossible to maintain the act. Your silence isn't empty, it's magnetic, and it pulls out their truth. People underestimate the power of someone who doesn't feel the need to fill every space with words. They assume that talking is control, but you show them that observing is even stronger. When you don't react immediately, when you don't chase explanations, when you simply exist in the energy of the moment, their guard slips. They start over-explaining, revealing motives, contradictions, and fears they didn't even intend to share. Their truth comes out not because you forced it, but because the space you create doesn't allow deception to thrive. That's why people can't stop noticing you. They feel exposed without you saying a single word. What makes it even more unnerving for them is that your silence has timing. You know when to speak and when to let moments stretch. You understand the weight of waiting, the pressure that builds when someone knows they're being seen but doesn't know what will come next. That pressure makes them talk faster, slip up more, and reveal more of themselves than they ever wanted anyone to see. You don't have to interrogate or accuse. Your quiet does the work for you. Your presence alone becomes a kind of truth amplifier. Every pause, every glance, every calm moment forces people to confront what they were hoping you wouldn't notice. They fear it because it's uncontrollable. They can't edit themselves when your awareness doesn't demand a single word, and that makes your silence more dangerous than any argument, any exposure, or any accusation could ever be. Number 8. Your presence interrupts their lies. There's a strange power in simply being around you, and people notice it even if they can't put it into words. Your energy carries a kind of honesty that makes dishonesty uncomfortable. When someone is trying to manipulate, lie, or embellish their story, your presence alone throws them off their rhythm. They start stumbling over words, over-explaining small details, or shifting nervously because they sense that you're not buying the act. You don't even have to confront them. You just exist, and their lies can't survive in that space. People are used to controlling the narrative, managing impressions and spinning stories to their advantage. But with you, that control evaporates. They feel like the air is too clear, the space too honest, and the moment too charged for deception to stand. It's almost like your energy functions as a truth detector. They don't even realize they've been caught in a lie until it's too late. And the scariest part for them is that you didn't need proof, confrontation, or pressure. You simply don't accept anything less than authenticity around you, and that expectation forces them to expose themselves without effort on your part. Your presence also makes them aware of their own intentions in a way they weren't prepared for. You pick up on subtle cues, the hesitation in their speech, the tone they thought was convincing, the small micro-expressions they assume go unnoticed. They realize that their energy has betrayed them, and suddenly they're aware of how obvious their game has become. This makes people defensive, nervous, and sometimes even frantic. They start second-guessing every word, wondering what else you've noticed and what else you can see that they can't hide. The unsettling truth is that your influence doesn't come from aggression or confrontation. It comes from clarity and alignment. You don't need to expose people. They expose themselves by the way their energy reacts around you. You create an atmosphere that cannot tolerate pretense, and in that space, deception collapses naturally. That's why people become unnerved when you enter a room. They know they can't fool you, and worse, they know it's not about proving themselves right or wrong. Your presence alone interrupts lies, dismantles facades, and makes the truth unavoidable. Number 9. You pick up the emotion behind the emotion. Most people only react to what's obvious: anger, sadness, excitement, or jealousy, but you operate on a deeper level. You feel the root cause behind those emotions, the hidden currents that drive behavior. You sense the fear behind the anger, the insecurity behind the arrogance, the guilt behind the charm, and the desperation behind the confidence. That's what makes people uncomfortable around you. They might try to present a calm exterior, but you see the undercurrents they think they've buried. You don't just notice feelings, you decode them, understand them, and respond in ways that make their true intentions impossible to hide. This ability doesn't just give you insight into actions, it gives you insight into the motivations that fuel those actions. You see why someone overreacts in certain situations, why they overcompensate with kindness, why they suddenly withdraw, or why they try to control a moment. You feel the emotional blueprint that guides them, even if they aren't aware of it themselves. That makes your presence unsettling. because people realize that no matter how carefully they craft their words or mask their behavior, you are aware of what's really driving them. It's like your awareness bypasses their facade entirely. People don't like having their hidden motives revealed, even silently. They're used to presenting an image, controlling perception, or manipulating situations to their advantage. But around you, all of that becomes transparent. You respond based on truth rather than performance, and that forces people to confront what they've been trying to hide. They can feel your understanding, even when you say nothing. That makes them uneasy, defensive, or sometimes even frantic. What gives this even more weight is your timing. You don't wait for their emotions to explode or manifest in full force. You sense the underlying cause before it erupts. You notice the tension, the hesitation, the misalignment, and you respond in ways that prevent the drama from escalating, or in ways that expose it without a word. People fear this because it removes control from them. Your ability to pick up the emotion behind the emotion makes you unpredictable, unavoidable, and completely aware of the hidden truths they thought they could bury. That awareness is both your power and the source of their unease. Number 10. Your spirit doesn't wait for proof. It moves, based on revelation. One of the most unsettling things about you is that you act on knowledge before it becomes visible to everyone else. Your spirit doesn't wait for confirmation, for receipts, or for someone else to validate what you already know. You move based on revelation, on that inner certainty that whispers, pushes, or sometimes even jolts you in the right direction. That makes people uncomfortable because they rely on tangible evidence to feel safe, to justify actions, and to manipulate outcomes. You don't operate that way, and that difference terrifies them. When someone is planning, scheming, or hiding, they expect people to respond after the fact, after the proof shows up. But you're already ahead of them. You sense the outcome before it materializes. You perceive the truth of a situation before anyone else can. That foresight forces people into reactive modes they aren't prepared for. They're used to controlling timelines, conversations, and situations. Around you, the timeline is flipped. You move first because your awareness operates in a space they can't access. That unpredictability makes them anxious because they no longer control the narrative. They're trying to catch up to it. This ability also changes the way people interact with you. Your decisions, your distance, your boundaries, and your words come from a place of preemptive understanding. You're not paranoid or impulsive. You're informed in ways they can't comprehend. They may try to test you, manipulate you, or mislead you, but your spirit sees the architecture of their actions before it's fully built. It's like having a map of hidden intentions that only you can read. What really unsettles people is that your movements aren't explained by logic. They're justified by revelation. You don't need proof to act. You don't need acknowledgement to respond. And when life eventually confirms what you already knew, it leaves people bewildered, defensive, or even fearful of how much you can perceive without them noticing. That ability to move ahead, guided by revelation, makes you untouchable in ways they weren't prepared to handle. You operate on a plane where foresight and spiritual clarity intersect, and it leaves those around you scrambling to keep up with what they'll never fully understand. Number 11. You read silence as clearly as speech. One of the things that unnerves people the most about you is how clearly you understand what isn't said. Most people rely on words to communicate, believing that if they control their speech, they control the narrative. But you operate differently. You read silence like it's a full conversation. You notice the pauses, the hesitation, the weight of unspoken thoughts, and the energy that lingers between sentences. That's why people get nervous around you. They can't hide behind silence because you've already heard it, felt it, and understood it before a single word escapes. People try to use quiet moments to regain control, to hide intentions, or to manipulate perception. But around you, silence doesn't protect them. It exposes them. You sense what they're withholding, the motives behind the pause, the truths they're avoiding even to themselves. The tension in a room, the sudden change in energy, the subtle shifts in body language, all of it speaks to you louder than words ever could. That makes people uneasy because their usual methods of control don't work. They start talking too much, contradicting themselves, or revealing things they never intended to, simply because you can already see through their quiet. Your ability to read silence doesn't just reveal deception, it reveals character, intention, and emotional truth. You pick up on fears, insecurities, and hidden agendas that others try to mask. Even when someone tries to present themselves as calm, composed, or unaffected, you sense the underlying energy and respond accordingly. You don't need confirmation or explanation because your perception is already ahead of the story. What terrifies people is that your understanding doesn't rely on what's obvious or what's convenient. You're aware of what's real beneath the surface, and that puts people on edge. They realize too late that the quiet moments, the innocent pauses, and the unspoken thoughts have already been noticed and processed by you. Your ability to read silence with such clarity removes their sense of control, leaving them exposed and unnervingly aware that they can't hide anything, not even in the spaces where they thought words would fail. Number 12. Your sensitivity is a radar, not a weakness. People often mistake sensitivity for weakness, but for you, it's a radar. It's the reason you pick up on things others miss. The reason you feel shifts in energy long before situations unfold, and the reason people around you start second-guessing themselves. Your sensitivity is a tool, a weapon, and a guide. It allows you to detect dishonesty, hidden intentions, and emotional undercurrents in ways that make others uncomfortable because they're not equipped to operate on the same level. While they try to ignore, rationalize, or distract themselves, you register everything with clarity and precision. You notice the subtleties, tiny shifts in tone, the micro-expressions, the hesitation before words, the way someone's energy changes when a particular topic comes up. These things might seem invisible to most, but not to you. You're wired to feel beyond the surface, and that makes people uneasy because they can sense that their facade won't hold around you. They start questioning their behavior, second-guessing intentions, and even overcompensating just to appear normal. Your sensitivity is like a radar scanning for truth, and the closer someone gets to deception or emotional manipulation, the faster your awareness flags it. The thing that makes your sensitivity frightening to others is that it's active. It doesn't just absorb energy passively, it responds. You don't just feel tension, you react in ways that shift the dynamic. You set boundaries, withdraw when necessary, and engage selectively. You protect yourself without needing validation, and that level of instinctive awareness is rare. People around you sense it, even if they can't define it, and that subtle discomfort keeps them on edge. Your sensitivity also allows you to navigate people and situations with foresight. You anticipate outcomes, recognize patterns, and understand hidden motives, all because you're tuned into what most people overlook. The truth is, your sensitivity is one of your most powerful assets. It exposes what others try to hide, keeps you ahead of potential harm, and ensures that nothing escapes your notice. It's not a weakness, it's the radar that makes you untouchable, perceptive, and impossible to deceive. Number 13. You're connected to what they pretend doesn't exist. There's a level of awareness you carry that most people can't comprehend, and it's terrifying to those who try to hide from truth. You're connected to forces, energies, and patterns that people act like don't exist. They laugh at it, dismiss it, or ignore it. But you sense it in every interaction, every decision, and every intention. That connection allows you to see layers of reality that others are blind to. You recognize manipulations, hidden agendas, and spiritual currents that operate beneath the surface of daily life. And that's what makes people uneasy. They realize you're tuned into a dimension they've been denying. It's not about imagination or exaggeration. You pick up on signals and truths that exist beyond conventional perception. While people focus on appearances and surface-level interactions, you feel undercurrents and vibrations that give you insight into character, intention, and outcomes. You know when someone is presenting a false self, when motives are misaligned, and when deception is woven into behavior. They can try to disguise it with charm, confidence, or carefully constructed narratives, but your connection sees past it. Your awareness makes the unseen seen, and that level of clarity makes people nervous because they can't control what you perceive. What terrifies them even more is that your connection is instinctive. You don't need evidence or confirmation. Your perception is immediate and undeniable. You respond to truth without hesitation, and that exposes the illusions people have relied on for safety. Their attempts to hide or manipulate are rendered ineffective because you're operating on a plane they refuse to acknowledge. Your presence forces people to confront the parts of reality they ignore. They realize that their secrets, lies, and hidden motives cannot escape you because you're in touch with the threads they pretend don't exist. That awareness doesn't just inform your interactions, it changes the way situations unfold around you. People feel it intuitively, even when they can't explain it, and that's why they ask, "How did you know?" They fear your insight because it pierces the veil they've built around themselves, revealing truths that make them vulnerable without any action on your part. Your connection to what they deny gives you power, perception, and a clarity they cannot touch. Number 14. Your gut doesn't warn you, it exposes them. Your intuition doesn't work the way most people describe it. It's not a quiet warning or a gentle nudge telling you something might be off. Your gut doesn't whisper, it exposes. It drags the truth out of hiding with a confidence that startles people who thought they could keep their motives buried. When your intuition kicks in, it shines a light on things they hoped no one would notice, and that's why people start asking, "How did you know?" It's not because you're guessing, it's because your inner system is built to detect the cracks in their behavior that they're hoping you'll overlook. What makes this unsettling for others is how quickly and accurately it happens. You don't need time, explanations, or long analysis. The moment something doesn't align with the truth, your internal alarm picks it up. You might not immediately understand every detail, but the sense that something isn't right is sharp and impossible for you to ignore. While most people need proof before they adjust their assumptions, you operate from instinct, and your instinct is usually correct. That scares people because they can't control it or talk their way around it. Your gut exposes emotional inconsistencies, manipulations, lies, and hidden feelings. It picks up on energy before words are spoken. You can sense when someone's smile is covering irritation, when excitement is masking jealousy, or when friendliness is hiding competition. Even when people try to play cool or act indifferent, your intuition catches the tension behind their mask. They feel naked around you because their performance doesn't work. They realize that no matter how carefully they construct their behavior, they can't slip past your awareness. The real reason others feel intimidated is because your gut doesn't just expose them, it changes your reaction instantly. You adjust, pull back, set boundaries, or go silent in a way that signals you've seen what they tried to hide. That's when paranoia kicks in for them. They sense you've clocked something they weren't ready to admit, even to themselves. Your intuition makes you unpredictable to people who rely on manipulation because they can't figure out which part of themselves you've already seen, and that's why they're scared. Your gut isn't just a warning system, it's a spotlight revealing truth they hope to keep in the dark. Conclusion. Chosen One, what we've uncovered here isn't just a collection of abilities or quirks. It's a blueprint of power, awareness, and presence that operates on levels most people can't even begin to comprehend. Every point we've explored proves one thing. You are wired to see beyond the surface, to sense the invisible currents of intention, emotion, and truth, and to respond in ways that make people uncomfortable without even trying. Your accuracy, your discernment, your instinct, and your spiritual radar aren't random. They are precise tools that expose motives, reveal hidden realities, and dismantle facades before anyone else even knows they exist. You are not merely observing life. You are perceiving it on a depth most fear to acknowledge. You catch what they don't say, recognize patterns before they appear, see the character they're running from, and feel the energy behind the energy. Your presence alone interrupts manipulation, forces hidden truths to surface, and makes people confront the parts of themselves they hoped you wouldn't notice. You operate ahead of proof, ahead of consequence, and ahead of pretense, and that is why people are drawn to you with curiosity and unsettled awe at the same time. You are a truth magnet, a spiritual radar, and a presence that cannot be deceived, outmaneuvered, or ignored. This awareness is both a gift and a responsibility. It shows you the world as it truly is, stripping away illusions, exposing hidden intentions, and giving you the clarity to act decisively. It makes life simpler in some ways, and infinitely more revealing in others. Those around you will either rise to match your energy or shrink under it, and your ability to navigate both without being shaken is what makes you extraordinary. If you recognize this power within yourself, own it, honor it, move with it deliberately. Let it guide your decisions, your relationships, and the way you respond to the world. Because when you do, nothing and no one can take you off your path or obscure the truth you see. If you found this video enlightening and feel the power of what you've just absorbed, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay connected to this kind of insight. Like the video if it resonated with you, share it with others who need to hear this truth, and comment below to let us know how you experience these truths in your own life. Your engagement helps grow this community of awareness, and together we continue to uncover what most people can't see. Stay alert, stay aware, and never underestimate the depth of what you carry. God bless you.